Hey, welcome back to that God Power channel. This is the channel where we're going to unlock the God Power laying dormant on the inside of you. But first, today, what we're going to do is we're going to continue breaking down the book of Genesis. And today we're actually on chapter 4. So if you didn't catch chapter 3, chapter 2, or chapter 1, make sure you go back and watch those videos because like the story is happening chronologically right now. So you might want to catch that part of the story because last time we talked about Adam and Eve, and last time it was actually the fall of man. So this is when the serpent came in the garden. This is that very popular story that we all know about. But this time in chapter 4, we're going to talk about the next thing that happened, which is the birth of Cain and Abel. So I think a lot of you know this story too, but let's go over it and let's read it together. So now Adam had sexual relationships with his wife and she became pregnant. And then she gave birth to Cain. So remember, Cain is the older brother, right? And then she said, "Yay, with the Lord's help, I have produced a man." Later, she gave birth to his brother, which his name is Abel. So Cain and Abel. We know these two people very, very like Cain and Abel. They're brothers, right? We know it's about to happen, but let's see how it happens, right? Later, so she gave birth to Abel. Then they grew up. And Abel became a shepherd, and Cain cultivated the ground. So Cain was like a farmer. That's what cultivating the ground really means. So Cain was a farmer, and Abel was a shepherd. So meaning he had livestock. Okay. Now Cain presented some of his crops as a gift to the Lord. Abel also brought a gift, the best portions of the firstborn lambs from his flock. Now, the Lord accepted Abel in his gift, but he did not accept Cain in his gift. This made Cain very angry, and he looked dejected, which dejected just means sad, depressed, or dispirited. However, why do you all think that God was displeased with Cain? And I was wondering that question too. The thing is that like if you look back in what it says, let's look back and see what it says again. So Cain presented some of his crops as a gift to the Lord, but Abel presented his firstborn lambs from his flocks, like the best of his gifts. You know, something that you wouldn't want to give away. I think that's the key right there. So Abel gave the best of what he had, and Cain just gave some of what he had, you know? And I think that small difference when you're giving to God, that will make a difference, you know? That to me, that makes sense. If you had a different opinion, you should put it in the comments and we could discuss it. I would love to hear some more. But anyways, Cain, he was very angry. He felt dejected. And then God said to Cain, "Why are you so angry?" The Lord said, "Why do you look so dejected? You'll be accepted if you do what is right. But if you refuse to do what is right, then watch out. Sin is crouching at the door, eager to control you. But you must subdue it and be its master." Now, couple things here. The Lord is talking to Cain. And remember that God is outside of shape and matter and form. But when he does form himself, to me, I think that's him, that the form of God is Jesus, right? Because he showed it to us before. So this is Jesus talking to Cain, the Lord talking to Cain, telling him that, look, if you do what is right, you will be accepted. But if you refuse to do what is right, he's not saying that if you refuse to do what's right, you're going to die. It's if you refuse to do what's right, sin is crouching at the door, eager to control you. So there's this thing called sin, and it's looking for people to control. And how does it get to control people? Is if they do something that is not quote unquote right. You know what I'm saying? Not of God. But if sin does control you, you must subdue it and become its master, meaning that you control it. It does not control you. One day, Cain suggested to his brother, "Let's go out in the fields." And while they were in the field, Cain attacked his brother and killed him. Cain attacked his brother and killed him. He was like, "Oh, bro, let's just go out in the fields." And that's where he killed his own brother, guys. Y'all, like, if you have a brother, man, that's wild to think about. Anyways, the Lord asks, "Hey, where's your brother Abel? Where's Abel at?" And then Cain was like, "I don't know. Am I my brother's keeper?" And this right here, this is where it's like, Cain, bro, why are you talking to God like that? He said, "I don't know. Am I my brother's keeper?" This is so like a matter of fact statement. It's like, bro, you better watch it. But it says, am I my brother's guardian? Is what it says in this Bible that I'm reading. But the Lord said, "What have you done? Listen, your brother's blood cries out to me from the ground. Now you are cursed and banished from the ground which has swallowed your brother's blood. No longer will the ground yield good crops for you, no matter how hard you work. From now on, you will be a homeless wanderer on the earth." And Cain replied to the Lord, "My punishment is too great for me to bear. You've banished me from the land, from your presence, and you've made me a homeless wanderer. Anyone who finds me will certainly kill me." So Cain is, first of all, a couple things here too. Cain's punishment for killing his brother was to be banished from the garden, or from where they were. So they're already out of the garden. So they're somewhere else. And then Cain got banished from this place. And Cain took it as being banished from the Lord's presence. That's the first thing. The second thing is that Cain was like, yo, this punishment is way too much for me to bear. I got to be a homeless wanderer. Anybody's going to find me is going to kill me. And that means he's kind of scared. He was scared of what was going to happen. But for me, when he was just talking so boldly to God, he wasn't showing fear then. And now he's showing fear. But then the Lord came back and said, "No, I'm not going to let people kill you, for I'll give a sevenfold punishment to anyone who kills you." So basically, no, for I will give a sevenfold punishment to anyone who kills you. Basically, the Lord said, if somebody does come and kill you, they're going to get sevenfold punishment of what I'm punishing you with. And then the Lord put a mark on Cain to warn anyone who might try to kill him. So Cain left the Lord's presence and settled in the land of Nod, east of Eden. But what kind of mark do y'all think this was? Do you think it was like a tattoo? Do you think it was like a holographic third eye or something like that? What if it was like a sixth finger or something? I don't know. What do you think that mark was? And also, if Cain is worried about people killing him, who are these other people that he's worried about killing him, right? They're not detailed in this book. It just said Adam, Eve, Cain, Abel. How is Cain and Abel growing up and then they're worried about other people killing them? Who are these other people? I really want to know the answer to that. Cain had sexual relations with his wife, and she became pregnant and gave birth to Enoch. Now, I don't think this is the Enoch that y'all know. This is another Enoch. However, Cain had a wife. So again, who are these other people? Then Cain founded a city which he named Enoch after his son. So Enoch had a son named Irad, and Irad was the father of Mahal. Mahuahel was the father of Methuselah. Like, this is where we're about to break down all these lines. You know why we're doing this? It's going to give you context to why are we talking about these people? First of all, remember, Adam and Eve is the first people. And now we're going down through one of their bloodlines, Cain. This is through Cain's bloodline. So remember, it's Cain, Enoch, Irad. You don't have to remember this for real, but some of these are you want to. Because like Mahuahel, the father of Methuselah, Methushel, and Methushel was the father of Lamech. Lamech married two women, Ada and Zillah. Ada gave birth to Jabal, who was the first of those to raise livestock and live in tents. So if we want to give credit to anybody about cities, the first person to do that was this dude named Jabal. And he had a brother named Jubal. Jabal and Jubal. Bro, Jubal. You know what I'm saying? He was the first one to play the harp and the flute. So everybody that I've heard who does this like Christian stuff Not everybody, but a lot of people have said that, oh, the devil is the father of the music. But real talk, it seems like right here in Genesis, it says Jubal, the first of all to play the harp and the flute. So if you're a producer, a singer, or whatever, a musician, Jubal, I mean, he's the first one of the humans that was doing that. Anyways, the other wife, Zillah, gave birth to a son named Tubal Cain. He became an expert in foreign tools of bronze and iron. Again, people are like, oh, the Anunnaki taught the humans how to use tools. Well, bro, no. Tubal Cain became an expert in foreign tools in bronze and iron. So bro just knew what he was doing. He had a sister named Nama. And one day Lamech said to his wives, Ada and Zillah, hear my voice, listen to me, wives of Lamech. I have killed a man who attacked me. If someone who kills Cain is punished 7 times, then the one who kills me will be punished 77 times. And I think this is actually, and I might be wrong at this point, but the person Lamech killed was actually Cain, I think. And he did it on accident. But I don't think that's detailed here. I feel like I read that in another off text. But whatever. He killed someone, and he's saying that the curse on them will be 77 times instead of 7. Now, God didn't say that, so I don't know where that's really coming from or how he has the confidence of that. But bro, it is very confident. Listen, wives of Lamech. Listen, wife of Quinn. Well, I can't wait to get a wife. And anyways, Adam had sexual relations with his wife again, and she gave birth to another son. This time, she named him Seth, for she said, God has granted me another son in place of Abel, whom Cain killed. So now we know it's Cain, Abel, and Seth, the younger brother. Didn't know that? When Seth grew up, he had a son named Enosh. And at the time, people first began to worship the Lord by name. Or at that time, people began to worship the Lord by name. So they were worshiping God right then and there by God's name, by the Lord's name. I don't know what happened after that. Why do we not worship God by his name? Or do we? I don't know. But either way, what I'm saying is that these bloodlines this chapter right here is the most difficult chapter to get through, because you're like, who are all these people they're naming, right? And the next one is kind of like that too. Like, so it's 2 chapters straight of naming people and lineages. But just know that we just went through Cain's line. So we went all the way down to Lamech. And you remember he had the Jubal, all of them creating stuff, and Tubal Cain had the foreign tools. So that was Cain's line. I believe in the next chapter we're going to go through Adam's line. Yeah, we're going to go through Adam's whole line to see what else. So remember, there's Cain, and now there's Seth, because Abel doesn't have any descendants because he died or he got murdered. So now we're going to go through Seth's descendants in the next chapter. So I hope that you learned something, man. I promise you these descendants will make sense. Basically, what I've learned is that the whole Bible is following one bloodline, bro, straight through. And you can watch it. It's like, it's pretty much one bloodline all the way through to Jesus. And it's wild. Like, King David is Jesus' bloodline, bro. These people are in Jesus' bloodline. You're going to see. But we'll go through that next time. Other than that, I hope you learned something. I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful, lovely day. That was chapter 4 of Genesis. Next one will be chapter 5. Do good for people and yourself. But most importantly, remember that you got that God power. On your heart, tugging on your... Get them.